Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, who like and share my videos, because that helps my whole channel to circulate to more and more individuals who are in need of this information just like you. And a special thanks to Kelsey for enabling this video to be made. And today it's going to be a video reading from my PLUTO book, and the author of this book is Jeffrey Wolf Green. And what I'm going to be reading is Transiting Pluto through the third house, your natal third house. Okay, so I'm going to have to do that first. Let me get my glasses on. Okay, here we go. The archetype or theme of this evolutionary process is one wherein the individual will confront the limitations of intellectual structures, organization, and orientation. Thus, it will be necessary to examine the nature of personal opinions and the basis for those opinions. As this process increases in intensity, the individual will progressively begin to experience an implosion of his or her intellectual constructions, logical connections, and mental orientations to him or herself and the environment. This implosion is commonly accompanied with intellectual disagreements and arguments with others. Subconsciously, the individual will draw circumstances and events that enforce or induce this evolutionary need. These events and circumstances are normally associated with new people or experiences that confront or challenge the individual's opinions and the basis of those opinions. Events can also be associated with people in the individual's life who begin to intellectually reorganize their own lives and question the basis of their own opinions. Thus, where there was once intellectual agreement with certain people, there now is disagreement and problems. The reason for these conditions is that the individual must progressively develop new points of view and expand upon his or her intellectual framework in order to experience and perceive life in new ways. In addition, this process must occur so that the individual can eliminate superficial or poorly thought out ideas about the nature of things. In so doing, the individual can awaken to the underlying reasons of why he or she thinks about things in the way that they do. This in turn will promote the awareness of why the individual has intellectually organized reality in a particular way. A deepening of the mind is now occurring by examining the basis of opinions, mental orientation, and intellectual organization. The individual will progressively experience three states. 1, the need to eliminate outright certain opinions, mental attitudes, points of view, or a whole system of intellectual organization. 2, the need to reformulate or deepen certain ideas about the nature of reality that are still relevant and functional. And 3, the need to reach out for new experiences that allow for new ideas, information, and knowledge to come. The common psychological symptoms that ignite this process are feelings of being intellectually cramped or stifled, intellectual Restlessness and boredom are also common. This process, of course, can threaten the individual's sense of emotional security, which is connected to his or her intellectual organization, ideas, and opinions. Thus, to change the ideas is to risk inner emotional insecurity. In some of these people, this risk creates resistance to the necessary metamorphosis. The degree of resistance determines the degree of intellectual confrontation within and from outside. Again, clues to the degree of resistance will be found in the natal condition of Mercury, the signs of the 3rd and 6th houses, and the conditions of the planetary rulers of those houses. The need during this process is to bring in new information from the outer environment and to allow new information or ideas to surface from the inner depths. In this way, new perspectives will manifest themselves that allow the individual to examine and understand the basis for his or her existing intellectual beliefs and opinions. Because this process reflects a desire for deeper knowledge about the nature of life, inwardly and outwardly, it's not uncommon for the individual to feel repelled or irritated at the superficial explanations or opinions that others express. I have seen normally docile individuals erupt in a tirade of intellectual attack upon others whom they now perceive as shallow, mindless, or simply fixed in their opinions. Of course, this outer process is a direct reflection of the inner eruption that the individual is experiencing. It is a good idea and not uncommon for such people to seek out new knowledge systems and ideas with which to build a new foundation so that the necessary reorganization does not become overly dispersed in a variety of directions. It helps to become involved with or study one comprehensive system and discipline so that other interests can be related to the new foundation that is reflected in one comprehensive system. The danger is to fly off in many directions simultaneously because of the deep inner thirst for new information and ideas. Scattering the energies will only deepen the intellectual crisis because now the individual will be lost and confused by a revolving door of ideas and perspectives that contend with or clash with one another. On a preliminary basis, as this process begins, it can be advisable to sample or check out a variety of new intellectual systems in order to discover the ones that most perfectly reflect what the individual needs for the necessary reorganization to occur. When one system is found, a commitment must be made so that a foundation can be created upon which all other new ideas and information can be given consistent perspective. Travel is another beneficial activity that can promote new thinking patterns. When one is traveling, one is in motion. Being in motion allows for processing of thoughts. Traveling brings new experiences, contacts, and conversations with the people that are encountered along the way. The need for traveling is cyclic during this process. Therefore, the individual can lose all sense of a personal center. Not enough motion or traveling can promote an intensification of the natural intellectual implosion, which in turn can cause an intellectual and emotional loss of perspective and sense of the inner center. I want to apologize if any of you just heard my little puppy dog bark. That hopefully didn't interrupt either one of us too terribly much. On the other hand, on a cyclic basis, a need for inner exploration arises wherein the individual discovers new thoughts, perspectives, and mental orientations by being still. The key is to be aware of these two natural cycles during this time frame, to put oneself in motion when necessary, and to rest or be still when necessary in order for a settling to occur. Physical problems that can occur during this process are commonly associated with the nervous system in a general sense. Neurological problems, rashes on the skin, lung ailments associated with the lining of the lung, throat problems, and problems associated with the cervical or throat chakra. And just really quick, the reason why this author is mentioning those particular things is because that has everything to do with the third house, which has everything to do with communication of all kinds, and Mercury, the planet of the third house, which has to do with communication, has to do with traveling and being in motion and stillness. Okay. In general, this evolutionary process promotes the need to expand mental horizons and to eliminate outmoded thinking patterns and opinions. It's time to think things through in order to discover the basis of intellectual attitudes and assumptions. Personal knowledge and self-realization will come in this way. Okay. I hope that this helped you. And if any of you would like a written copy of what I just read, send me an email. If you would like and you feel a need to have a personal reading with me, that is perfectly all right. I can send you my list of personal readings. Just let me know by an email. And also, if any of you, if you don't already know, I have just recently made available my book, and it's called My Life Journey and True Ancient Astrology. And if you're interested in purchasing that, send me an email. My email address is thecreativewoman369@gmail.com. And I also provide my email address and actually all of my information if you'd like to know my natal wheel as well. I provide that freely for all, because I don't think any astrologer should be keeping their natal wheel information a secret. I think that levels the playing field, and so I make that available for any of you who are interested in the drop-down box below this video and all of my videos. Okay, until next time, bye.